Hey guys. Well, we got 7 people so far. All right. Hey guys. Sorry about that. I'm going to try to get everybody to switch over to the horizontal live stream. If anybody's on the vertical one, like the way I usually do them, could you just click on that link I just put in there and hop over to the regular live stream? I'm trying to do something here, so I think it's important. I'll ask as more people come in. Guys, please hit the like and subscribe. Yes, Bertram, I could see him. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. 9 people. All right. We'll get up there, guys. Might take a second. Unknown Trader. Hello, people. What's going on, brother? Where's Sabrina Merrick? I haven't seen her in a couple of days, I feel like. Then again, yesterday, I didn't really get to see anybody. That little YouTube glitch that was going on fucked my whole day up. David Sullivan. Yeah, if you click the link under the Street Smart Politics in there, it'll just bring you to the regular live stream, like the horizontal one, not the vertical one. It'll help me. You don't have to if you don't want to, but. Looks like you're, well, Bertram already did it. Yeah, I don't know. 31 people. All right, guys, hop in the chat whenever you'd like. Tell me what you think. I believe unless you're a billionaire, Trump doesn't care about you. I just did a show with the same prompt a little while ago, but I want to keep that conversation going because I think it's important for people to understand. He really doesn't give a shit about you. Sabrina Merrick. Hello, people. There she is. Oh. Well, you should be able to do it the same way you watch the MobTube streams, Miss Camp. You're wrong. If you click that link, I would, maybe it won't work. It should take you to the regular horizontal one. Bertram Tibbles, ICE detained some Columbia student, and Trump apparently said to release this person. News trucks all over the place and people outside of Columbia. Really? I wonder what happened. What? Interesting. Trump RIP 2026. Will you wish you knew? No. Will you wish you knew? Said Trump 2028. Sorry about that, guys. Hey, anybody who doesn't mind clicking that link that's in the chat, it says Street Smart Politics. Hold on. It's not the one pinned at the top. It's this one. Just because it would help if you switched over to the regular live stream, that would be great. You don't have to, but it would help me out a little bit. I just put it in the chat again. Let me see. I saw Shaky Shooter. Where have you been, sir? Hold on. Let me get to you. Wait a minute. Trump, the most hated man in the world. Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Looks like dominoes will begin to fall. Articles of impeachment have been filed against Pam Bondi. Only a matter of time now, people. Yeah, let's hope so. Is Trump even a billionaire anymore? Was he ever? Well, he was never worth nearly as much as he said, but now he's actually worth more than he ever was because he made $4 billion last year. And it's good to see you, Casey. Where have you been, sir? Cockeyed Patel will be next. Yeah, they need to get him out of there. Right now? Really? Mom Donnie. Is he kissing his ass? Trump loves that dude. Joseph Montanaro. Wow. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while either. I hate talking politics because I feel they are all scumbags, but Trump is not a good guy. It's known he fucked local contractors in the tri-state area of vast sums. A few committed suicide. Facts. Joseph, I'm glad you came in the chat and said that. I try to tell these guys about that all the time, but they think he's on the up and up. Great guy. You know, it's very bizarre. Maybe time for the billionaires to pay their salaries and healthcare. Let the American people keep their own money. I agree. Imagine the United States of America being run by a cabinet of failed podcast and TV show hosts. It's a shame our president thinks this is a reality TV show. He thought it in his first term and he thinks it in this term. That's all it is to him. You know, that's all it is to him. How old are you? You've learned nothing? Well, then you better school me, Paul. Obviously, by looking at me, you could tell I'm 19 years old. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kind of old. Trump has finally admitted that his father had Alzheimer's at the time of his passing. Funny thing is, with Trump's dementia, he couldn't remember the word Alzheimer's. Go figure. I remember that. Yeah. He had to ask Susie, right? I heard you lost a strain of hair for every lie you tell about Trump. Well, if you've ever heard me tell a lie about Trump, you should call me out on it right now. You should tell me what that lie was that I said, and we could talk about it. You disgust me, bro. You're spreading misinformation, even though you think you're not. Oh, I know I'm not. I know I'm not. The only people that spread disinformation are MAGA. Like, I'll tell you what. Go ahead, just say something about Trump in the chat. I bet you it's misinformation. Every event is staged, set up, scripted. It's unbelievable that the cult can't see through the smoke and mirrors. I know. Unknown Trader, could you click that link I put in the chat and switch over to the horizontal? If not, it's no big deal. I'm just trying to get as many people as possible to do that. It's better for you guys anyway. It's a much better way to watch the show, I think. Oh, shit. Hold on, guys. All right. 103 people. Guys, please hit the like button and subscribe. It's very, very important. Okay, got it done. All right. The link isn't showing on StreamYard. What do you mean? I put the link in the chat. I don't know if you could see it. It's not a big deal if not. You know what I mean? I just want to, because I want to start doing horizontal live streams. That's the only reason I care. The more views I get on those, the better. Trump for prison 2026. Well, it won't happen in 2026, but it'll happen eventually. I was there, vertical switched over to hear what's up, bro. Thank you, Beverly Boys. I appreciate that. Chilling, man. How you doing? We're doing politics. We're doing a horizontal and a vertical, as you know. All right, Unknown Trader. Trump sucks, the big one. He needs to go. I agree. It's amazing the way these people feel about him, man. They love him, you know. And even though like a lot of these more influential people like Joe Rogan and Andrew Schultz and all these people are turning on him now, you know, it doesn't they don't see it, you know. And don't get me wrong, I don't believe in being a follower. You shouldn't change your mind about something just because somebody like that has. But what I mean is, you know, these people know more stuff than you guys do. You know, MAGA, they do. Joe Rogan and Andrew Schultz, they have access to more information. I don't know why Joe Rogan ever turned MAGA to begin with. He is a bit of a fucktard, but he's caught on now. It took the Epstein files to make him realize the error of his ways, but he's caught on now, and these guys are starting to realize, you know, that I can't believe it took them this long, but Trump is a scumbag, and he's definitely a PDF file. No question about it. Oh, okay. Did you have to do all that? That sucks. I'm a half-breed hairy Italian. If I lie on Trump, I'll lose hair. Trump loves vets. He is a good man. Like he likes poor people. Hair isn't falling out. Oh, gotcha. Hair is not falling out, right? So you're telling the truth. Can't debate a magatard. I know. Well, thank you, Kelly. It's not often anybody agrees with me. Only the poor mamas love Trump. I don't know. Oh, MAGAs. I was going to say mamas. Yeah, it's true. It really is true. I mean, the poorest people in this country love him, you know, and everything he does to screw poor people. So what's funny about MAGA guys is if you watch what they say in the chat, you hear them speak, you know, anywhere on TV, anything, you'll see that they really believe that Trump is working for them, not the American people, but them, MAGA. Like Trump is doing things that are only going to hurt us, the libs and the Democrats, leftists, whatever you want to call us. But everything he's doing is good for MAGA, when in reality, it's the complete and total opposite. I mean, Democrat states are the wealthiest, most well-educated states, and the red states are the poorest, least educated. So the stuff he's doing by cutting social safety net programs and stuff, that's hurting the rural areas of this country, like in those red states, you know, more than the blue cities. So it's surprising that, I guess, if you only watch Fox News, there's no way you could know this stuff. But the fact that you guys don't want to open your minds to new information, I mean, it's like you're asking them to fuck you. You love it. Are they? Well, what would be making America great again? Or like when would you say it wasn't great? How'd they do that, Dennis? What do you want? Make America stupid again, like the Democrats are doing? Well, how are they doing that? They're not even empowered, dummy. Mentally unstable is what we call you. Well, that's because you're an idiot. He isn't making anything but his bank account great. That's true. The bitch has the biggest case of TD. Oh, this bitch has the biggest case of TDS on YouTube. Tremendous dick syndrome. I like to think so. I mean, I haven't seen everybody else's, but I'm assuming mine is the largest. I guess he thought it was okay for them not to stand for the hockey team and not stand for nothing. So you're okay with that? That basically telling you they don't care about the American people. God, this is very well written. Who gives a fuck if they stand for the hockey team, dipshit? Who cares? It's fucking sports. Guys, stop it with the sports shit. Nobody gives a fuck. Okay. And they didn't stand for good reason. They're in protest. They were there in protest of Trump. So why would they stand? Why would they clap for that fucking idiot? I think the majority of U.S. citizens had already made up their mind that the government of the USA is full of political parasites long before Trump showed up. Well, yeah, probably, yeah. But I mean, we've never seen anything like this. Oh, yeah, he's done with them. He don't give a fuck about them anymore. Trump, the greatest president ever, yeah. Now the Dems are working to make the middle class poor. How do you figure it, Dennis? Don't just say stuff like that. Tell me how. What are they doing to make the middle class poor? I'm curious. Define what a woman is. A woman is someone who is born with female reproductive organs. When men weren't allowed in women's bathrooms. Oh, that's when America was great. You know what's funny is it's your paranoia and your silly conspiracy theories that make you even concerned about that stupid issue. Like no man is going into a women's room to hurt a woman, and if they wanted to hurt a woman, they wouldn't let a rule about not being allowed to go into the women's room stop them. You realize that stupid? Like I say this on all the shows now. I mean, you're afraid what that the trans guy is going to go in there since now he's allowed. He's allowed to go in a woman's restroom. So now he's going to go in there and grape and molest all the women and little girls, right? Like as if he's committing or willing to commit that crime, like he wouldn't commit it regardless of whether he's allowed in the fucking bathroom or not. You guys are so stupid. You just be honest for once and just say you hate trans people. Go ahead, say it. Yeah. There's a report his family have earned over $1 trillion in his first year, $4 billion for himself. $1 trillion. I don't know about that. But then again, anything's possible. MAGA only has 4 talking points. Yeah, what? Libtards, trans, Mexicans, what else? Democrats equal corruption. I would ask you to elaborate, but I know you won't. Samuel, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I would ask you to elaborate because, I mean, Trump is the most corrupt politician we've ever seen in our lives. Look at the continuing increase in taxes by Dems. What increase in taxes? When was the last increase in taxes by Democrats? Go ahead, tell me. Oh yeah, how's he corrupt? Well, there is. I will say this: he did make $3.8 billion off a crypto coin last year while he was governor of California. That's not cool. He also sold AI chips to the UAE for $500 million. That's not cool. Then there was that time when he took the $400 million jet that's going to leave with him as soon as he leaves office, even though it's going to cost taxpayers $1 billion to retrofit it. Oh, no, wait a minute. That's Trump. My bad. Not Newsom. That's Trump. Newsom would never do anything like that. I feel fine. It's you that's going to be fucked. Once a man, always a man. You can't change yourself like these fools are trying to do. Well, here's the question you wish you knew. Why does it bother you? Like I personally agree, but I don't care. Like, why do you care? If say in your neighborhood there's men that live their lives as women, how does that affect you? Why does it bother you? Well, here's a question for you. What makes Trump so bad? You really thought you had me on that one, huh? All right, let's start at the beginning. In 1972, he was sued by Nixon's Justice Department for refusing to rent apartments to black people, and he had to settle. In 1989, his wife, Ivana, accused him in court filings of brutally raping her. In 1996, he was accused of brutally raping Katie Johnson with Jeffrey Epstein. Between those two, he was sued by Polish immigrants he had hired to build his buildings because he wouldn't even provide them with hard hats. Also, he stiffed a lot of small businesses and put them out of business. He also stiffed all his union workers that built his buildings. Then throughout his life, he was accused more and more of sexual assault 30 times since the 1970s. He questioned the first black president's citizenship for no reason other than the fact that he was black. He was found civilly liable as sexually assaulting E. Jean Carroll. He was convicted of 34 felonies. He was impeached twice. And he paid off a porn star to keep information from the public about him having an affair with her while his current wife was at home with their newborn. That's some of the stuff. You need more? If you need more, I'll go on. Who had the interest rate at 9.1%? I love it. The interest rate, you stupid fuck. Are you talking about inflation? You're talking about inflation? Another 3 years, you'll be reaching old age by then. I'm already at old age. Did you send back your stimulus check? Which one? The one I got from Biden or the one I got from Trump? Did you send back the one you got from Biden? Nobody said it was a crime. He asked what makes Donald Trump a bad person. But then again, there was crimes I mentioned too, you know. Democrats, welfare for all. Well, here's the thing, Winters. The people who rely on that the most are in the red states, the poorest states. Again, the poorest states in the country. Red states receive a disproportionate amount of welfare funding because there's more people per capita on welfare than there are in blue states. Red states rely heavily on programs like Medicare and Medicaid and food stamps and cash assistance and Section 8 housing. Plus, they're welfare states in general. Like, they literally can't support themselves. Blue states support the red states. So we're going back long before the party switch happened. Cool. No, Ilhan Omar, it's her husband's money, you dope. And Nancy Pelosi, I will always condemn her for insider trading. But again, if you're gonna condemn her, I mean, it's minuscule when you compare it to the $150 million Barron Trump made off of insider trading last year, or the hundreds of millions the rest of the Trump children made, or the $3.8 billion Trump made by accepting basically bribes from foreign countries and stuff. I mean, it's minuscule, but yeah, I would condemn that too. Except the Democrats have been trying relentlessly to make it so that people in Congress and the Senate cannot trade stocks, period. But the Republicans keep shooting it down. I wonder why. No, that's not true. What do you mean? Crypto coin. It was a rug pull because it's down 99%, I think, right now. Reminds me of somebody else whose coin is down that much. But he owned it. World Liberty Financial owned a lot of it. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm misunderstanding you, though, unknown trader. Democrats all hate themselves? No, they don't. Conservatives are not anti-trans. They're just or they just don't like children being exploited for the trans agenda. No, you're anti-trans because I could debunk any of your ridiculous fears or conspiracy theories about trans people like in 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, you hate trans people. There's nothing you have to be worried about. I got a 13-year-old stepson in school They're not teaching him anything. Every time I ask him that, he looks at me like I got 6 heads. Are they teaching you anything about trans or gay stuff in school? He's like, no. I got a family member who's a school teacher. She told me the same thing. It's not going on. This is in your imagination. Okay. Fox News has scared you into believing all this. Trans people just want to be trans and be left the fuck alone. Believe me. Look, like a child. Cry harder, libturd. If you look at the people like Unknown Trader and even Victor Falls. Victor Falls is a Trump supporter, but he's got brains. And I don't think he is much anymore. If you look at a lot of the guys in here that are on the left, look at how they write and the things they have to say, and then look at guys like Gary. It's literally like children versus adults. This is all horseshit. It bothers me because it confuses children, which is the entire goal of it. That's the only way the perverted lifestyle perpetrates itself, because you're not turning 35 years old. Because you're not turning 35 years old. Okay, I don't know what that means, but children, let me tell you something. My stepson, same thing, right? He's 13 years old. He has a girlfriend. So whatever you think he was taught didn't confuse him. You see, people are born a certain way, David. They usually don't become that way. I don't think there's ever been a human being who became gay later on in life. They might have said they did, but chances are you were born that way. It's not something you could change about yourself. Who you're attracted to, that's just part of you. It's not something you can choose. So listen, I could go to a fucking retreat somewhere where all they could do is teach me about trans people and gay people, and I'm going to come out still wanting to fuck women. Okay. There's nothing that can confuse me. You're so stupid. No, you're terrified of everything, David. Everything that you don't know that isn't already a part of your way of life and hasn't been for decades. You're scared of. Just admit it. Oh yeah. Tell me which ones, BP Tech. Well, I'm not smoking rock. 12 jurors that were picked partly by Donald Trump's own lawyers listened to all the evidence, the witness testimony, and said, yes, he did. He did. And you think, Mr. Mayhem, here's what's funny about you. So he thinks that's absurd. He assaulted E. Jean Carroll at 2 p.m. in a Macy's dressing room. You're smoking rock. Meanwhile, he believes that trans men want to go in women's bathrooms in the middle of the day, in places where cops could walk in and out, other people, anything, and rape women and children. Democrats are dishonesty and disgusting. Tell me how. Don't just say stuff like that. Tell me what your problem is with Democrats. Tell me what makes them disgusting. So you're trying to say only to rich elite billionaires have a right to talk. Wait, what? So you're trying to say only to rich elite billionaires have a right to talk because they can write well, or they got ChatGPT or whatever it's called. Is that what you're trying to say? Poor people shouldn't have? What? No, Rick, you're illiterate. MAGA people are stupid. That's it. I mean, that's a fact. That's not my fucking opinion. You're dumb people. That's why you vote for Trump. Okay, so you can't write. It has nothing to do with elites, fucktard. Don't you call anybody who has a fucking brain in their head an elite? Because people go to college, they're elites? No, they're just smarter than you. You're stupid, and you guys can't write. You're fucking illiterate. It's hard for a person who understands fucking the English language to try to understand you fucking people when you write words in the chat that don't make any sense. It's complete word salad, or it's misspelled, or it's missing punctuation. It's fucking aggravating. Get off nunce talk and go see your kids. Okay. Does anybody know what that means? Remember when Trump said why we discuss trans people? There's no elections coming up. Oh, why would we discuss trans? Oh, did he say that? I'm not surprised. You're influenced by your environment, bro, and if all you get to see in prison is penis, see how that turns out for you, especially weak as you look. What's my environment? Rick Stan, you don't know the first thing about me. What the fuck are you talking about? And I'm in prison currently? Is that what you're saying? Jesus Christ, I wish I would have known. because I can't read every single comment. It's impossible. You ever try to do something like this? It's impossible, Dennis. This channel does nothing. You are just a sore loser. You are 10% of the population that isn't for Trump. 10% of the population. You really believe that? You know that Trump didn't even get 50% of the vote in 2024, right? Not only does not half the country support him or half the voters, he didn't even get 50% of the vote in 2024. Did I say 2020? If I did, I meant 2024. No, I'm not. This is what I do for a living, stupid ass. No, I don't, Dennis. Believe me, there's nothing you guys can stump me on. How do you attract so many haters? Because I'm awesome? Guys, for real, our elected officials are all nuts, regardless of party. We just need to be neighbors. Fuck that. I don't want to be friends with anybody who supports pedos. All right. I never said I did, but okay. The polls show otherwise. Donald Trump has like one of the lowest approval ratings in presidential history. He's got a 36% approval rating. So yeah, you're right. Not otherwise. The polls show that Donald Trump sucks and that the majority of the country doesn't support him. He dropped like 45 points with independents. You realize that? He's losing the Latino voters, everybody. All his numbers went down. He's got a 36% approval fucking rating. He's doing horribly. No, he doesn't. He doesn't, Harriet. Trump voters are actually tardy. It's one way to say it. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button and subscribe. It's very, very important to me that you do so. And if you can, because it's a very classy thing to do, it helps the show and it gets your comment read. Please send a super chat, or if you'd like, in the chat, there's a Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal, just like everybody does, just like Parker, Dean, everybody who does these live streams. We need to make money, so if you can, I'd appreciate it. Yeah, for real. You only choose to think, you only choose what you think you can win. What the fuck? Bro, you could call in right now, Dennis. 410-941-9850. Call in the show right now and have a debate. We don't have to go comment for comment. Go ahead. Since you're so smart, call me since I'm not reading all your comments. I probably did forget. What did I say that I forgot? I don't know. Papers have been released that fairness clouded with the Biden administration. Fairness clouded, huh? Trump got the popular vote, dumbass. Yeah, he didn't get 50% of the vote. He didn't get 50% of the vote. He won the election, Tyson. But the point is, you guys, or Tierson, whatever the fuck your name is, you guys are in here saying this dickhead just said only 10% of this country is against Trump. Meanwhile, even in the election he won, he didn't even get half the vote. Danny, what's up, bro? How you doing? You're YOUR an idiot, and your YOUR sad left losers. Gross of hair must be upsetting to see. Must be upsetting. You actually made that two separate words. You see what I mean? To see a president with a great set of hair, and you have none. Yeah, no, not really. I don't want Trump's fucking bleach blonde pubic hair on my fucking head. I'd rather be bald. I don't know. Jim D. Park, I don't know who he is. Let me see. Pull up what right now, Tierson? Pull up what? Let's see. What percentage of the vote did Trump get in the 2024 election?
According to Wikipedia, Trump won the national popular vote with a plurality of 49.8%, making him the first Republican to win the popular vote since George W. Bush in 2004, unlike his 2016 victory and 2020 defeat. Trump's victory made him the second U.S. president to be elected to a non-consecutive second term, after Grover Cleveland in 1892.
Yeah, 49.8%. And when they say he's the first Republican to win the popular vote since George W. Bush, he's the first Republican since George W. Bush. There was none in between them.
To accept, press 1.
Hello?
Hi.
What's up?
My name's Wilson. You said call in for a debate, so I'm calling in.
All right, let's do it.
I'm an America First guy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm an America First guy.
What does that mean to you?
What does America First mean to me? It means that America's interests should come first in the manners of foreign policy, domestic policy, immigration, culture.
Okay. And how would you
Those
say
sorts of things.
Trump is doing that?
How would I say that Trump is doing that?
Yeah.
I'd say he's not. I'd say he's doing a piss poor job of it.
Oh, all right. Well, then I'm with you.
Oh, well, no, you're not with me because I'm a groiper.
Oh,
I'm
God.
America First. I'm a groiper.
Oh, so you're actually a Nazi.
No, I'm not a Nazi.
Isn't Nick Fuentes a neo-Nazi?
I don't think so.
Well, you don't think so? Well, he thinks so because he said it himself.
Oh, well, that's fine. I mean, I could call myself 100 different things, but what matters is that what I do, right? My actions are important, right?
Well, if somebody says to me, I am a neo-Nazi, what reason would I have to believe that they're not? What would they have to gain from saying, from calling themselves that? Like, why? What would be the purpose?
Sure, that's a fair point. If you haven't met them at all, but if you if you value certain things, like for instance, you value American interest instead of Israeli interests, a lot of people are going to call you a Nazi, and they're going to conflate hate with and anti-Semitism with just criticism.
That's because they're stupid.
So, I think a lot of people have been labeled Nazis, even though all they want to do is just issue fair criticism.
So when Nick Fuentes says I'm a neo-Nazi, and then I say Nick Fuentes is a neo-Nazi, I'm being unfair.
No, I think that Nick is doing that for views and for the memes. I think he's doing it for attention. Is
there any chance that he's actually a neo-Nazi? The guy that drops the N-word and talks about black people like they're worthless and constantly. Because let me tell you something. Just being against genocide doesn't make you an anti-Semite. But when you're constantly denying the Holocaust and saying horrible things about Jewish people and stuff, that does make you an anti-Semite. So that is Nick Fuentes. That's what he is.
Okay. Do you think that there should be a much more open discussion about the, let's say, alternative explanations for the Holocaust? Or do you think that we should accept the Piers Morgan version of the Holocaust, which is it was 6 million, and saying anything else is anti-Semitism?
Listen, let me ask you something. Do you want to debate politics or just Hitler?
Well, you brought up the neo-Nazi thing. I'm happy to talk about anything.
Well, do you disagree with me on something about Trump? Because if we agree, there's no point in having this phone call. I'm just going to lose a fuck ton of people who are watching.
I probably disagree with you that you would support the left-wing candidate, and I would support Trump over the left-wing candidate.
Why is that?
Well, I don't think Kamala or Biden or Hillary were good choices.
Really? Why so?
Why? Because Kamala was constantly publicly intoxicated.
No, she wasn't.
Hillary was a.
What's the proof? What's the proof Kamala was ever intoxicated?
Oh my God! Come on, dude. Like, do you honestly accept the gaslighting by the media telling us constantly that Kamala's slurring and her inability to remember basic concepts? All of these symptoms of being drunk isn't her being drunk.
Well, that sounds, what you just described is Trump on a daily basis. But
sure, but he's old.
But Kamala Harris, I watched every rally she did. I've watched the debate with her and Trump. Never have I heard her slurring her words or even appearing to be drunk. And I'm an alcoholic. I'm 6.5 years clean and sober, so I know a little something about it. It's just something you guys say. But let's argue some facts or some shit. What was better about Trump's policies than hers?
Do you want to talk about immigration?
Sure.
So Kamala said that she would have, in an interview during the election, she said that she would have continued Biden's policies on most things, and she would have made a few tweaks here and there. That's what she said.
Yeah.
And She said, here's the thing, Biden's policies on immigration weren't very good. And we had record number migration levels.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we knew that. Well, hold on one second. Hold on one second. I'll get right back to you. I just want to read something. Jim Bob Jones, she became a prosecutor, and then every position after that, district attorney, attorney general, U.S. senator, and vice president, she was elected to. So I don't know how you sleep your way up to that. But go ahead, bro. Sorry. Immigration.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. I think if she was telling the truth, which most politicians don't, if she was telling the truth, then she would have just continued Biden's policies.
Mm-hmm.
Then why would I have any reason to support her when Biden's handling of the border and his handling of immigration and deportation law in general was just piss poor?
Well, her and Joe Biden tried to do the bipartisan border deal, and Trump had the Republicans shoot it down, even though they wrote it right along with Democrats. They authored it.
What about it being bipartisan instantly makes it good?
It doesn't. It's not that it makes it good. It's that it makes it. That's how you pass legislation. So the bipartisan border bill would have increased funding for Customs and Border Patrol, ICE agents. It would have given us 1,000 more federal judges so they can handle asylum cases, stuff like that. So that's a good thing, right? And it would have tightened up the border.
It depends on the political alignments of the judges being assigned. I mean, what is it, the Ninth Circuit? The Ninth Circuit is just full of leftists. All the judges are leftists. So, I mean, it depends on the quality of the judge. It depends on the political alignment of the judge. I want judges to be constitutional.
So, in other words, more judges to handle asylum cases would have been a bad thing if they were leftists.
Because they would have released them into the country. Yes, sir.
Why would they have done that?
Because they do.
Why?
That's what catch and release is.
Why would they do that though? Well, what's the benefit?
What's the benefit? More Democrat voters.
They can't vote.
Yeah, well, they can't vote on paper.
They can't vote, period.
They can't vote on paper.
What do you mean by on paper? They can't vote, period.
They can't vote officially, yeah, but unofficially, yeah, we know what's going on.
How do you vote unofficially?
What do you mean, how do you vote unofficially?
How do you vote unofficially? How do you possibly sneak a vote through if you're not a registered, legit voter in America?
Do you think that there was nothing wrong at all whatsoever with the 2020 election?
Yes.
It was safe and secure, 100%, all the way through, 100%.
Yeah, Trump's own attorney general, Bill Barr, said it was the most secure election in history.
Okay, yeah, but Bill Barr is compromised by Israel.
Okay, so in other words, anybody you don't like, their opinion is valueless. But anybody you do like, then their opinion is gold. So Bill Barr, Trump's own attorney general, he said that the election wasn't stolen, but he was lying because he's an Israel guy. Is that what you're saying? You know that Trump gave $21 billion to Israel last year?
Epstein killed himself. Bill Barr said Epstein killed himself. So.
What do you want from me? Maybe that was his opinion at the time. It's kind of different than talking about the election. But do you realize that with Epstein's thing, there has to be proof of whether or not he killed himself? That's what that's what makes a lie. If you know something is false, but you say it anyway, you're lying. As far as the election, it was proven a million different ways that the election wasn't stolen. 60 federal judges said it. I mean, Donald Trump hired a firm to find fraud, couldn't, so he fired them. Mike Lindell put millions of dollars into it, Elon Musk, everybody. And to this day, they haven't found any outcome determinative fraud.
Well, I don't think I'm going to be able to convince you no matter what I say. So.
All right. Well, it was nice talking to you.
I appreciate your time. Thank you, sir.
All right, bye. In other words, they say shit, and then when I come back at them with facts, they're like, you know what? Fuck this debate. He sounded a little, I don't know. Like groypers, though, they are a little, I don't know. You know what I'm saying. Most people who are caught voting illegally are Republicans. That's true. And somebody said earlier, I was on the phone, so I couldn't get to it, but somebody said about the voter thing, because they were saying Trump did win 50% of the vote. I said he didn't. As soon as I proved that he didn't, they were like, yeah, but there's not always 100% voter turnout and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you guys say, he didn't get 50% of the vote in the election he won. He didn't. We must elect Kamala Harris so she can jail more black men. Well, I'll tell you what, Marvin Magic. I don't know if you know this, but every prosecutor in the world prosecutes black men if they commit crimes. You understand that? Like, it's so funny. You guys are the most racist people on earth, but when you want something bad to say about Kamala, all of a sudden you're about the black man. Tell me what she did that was unfair to black people versus white people. Was she just a prosecutor?
To accept, press 1. To send a voice
Hello?
message.
All right. You know how much Joe Biden gave, and your point is, you know how much Biden gave. What are you talking about? To Israel? He never gave $21 billion in a year. Trump did last year. Yeah, I know. Let me see. Atheist politics, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that doesn't even make sense because, you know, a belief in God should have nothing to do with politics. You know, you exist outside his bubble. God, what a dumb fuck. Do you know Biden gave Israel, I think, $20 billion in 1 year? Because Trump gave $21 billion last year. Again, I'll keep saying it. I'd deport your cowardly ass in a second if I was Trump. Well, I'm not illegal, so how would you do that? I live in a blue state, and they do ask for an ID to vote. I don't know that. I don't know what state you live in, Chandler. I'd be glad to check it out. But there's 17 states in this country where you don't need an ID, and you shouldn't need one. It's your right to vote as long as you're of age and stuff, and you're a legal citizen. So illegal aliens don't vote, guys. It's so fucking rare. It's almost non-existent.
To accept, press 1.
Hello? No, they don't. Samantha, I live in PA. They don't ask for ID to vote. Hello?
Hello, how are you?
Great. What's up?
All right, you want a debate?
Sure.
All right. What do you want to go on? You want to go on? Oh, wow, my bad. You want to go on the elections or immigration border?
Well, hold on first. Hold on. Let me answer Anthony real quick. So you don't care how many years. So in other words, I said Trump gave $21 billion in a year, and you said, well, Biden gave $20 billion over possibly 4 years, so it's the same. Gotcha. All right, go ahead. I don't care. What do you want to debate? You pick the topic. It don't matter.
All right, let's do. Are you familiar with the Policy Act or the policy? And are you familiar with the Policy Act at all or no?
The what?
The Policy Act. You heard about that or no?
The Policy Act? What is that?
Never mind. You know all about that. Let's do.
I don't even think it's a thing.
Immigration.
I couldn't imagine anything called the Policy Act. Go ahead.
All right, let's do immigration, okay?
Okay.
What are your thoughts on immigration first, just so I know what
I think illegals should be deported if they have any type of crime in their past. Although if there's somebody who's been here for a certain amount of time, I guess, you know, everybody would have to come together and decide what time is acceptable, what amount of time, and they're just working and feeding their families, then I think they should get to stay here.
Honestly, you kind of read my mind on that, so that's good.
Yeah. And that's what Trump said he was going to do, and now he's just deporting anyone.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're not wrong about that, but you know, I will say a lot of the sex offenders should probably leave, but
yeah,
you were saying that Trump did not poll very good in the elections, right? You said he got like 49.58.
No, I just said he didn't get 50% of the vote. He got 49.8%.
I mean, at that point, you're going based off hairs, right?
Going based off what?
You're just little hairs away from winning the election. He won the election, therefore, technically, he got the vote, right?
Yeah, he won the election, but the reason I said that is because
I mean,
Go ahead.
Somebody in the chat said that only 10% of the country is against Trump. So I made the point that he didn't even get 50% of the vote in the election.
Oh, 10%. No, that person's fucking wrong. 10%. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try to call in.
All right, bro.
I don't have anything else to say.
All right, peace. All right, voter ID should be required. Look, now Slim Shady, I'm going to tell you something. So, and then I'm going to get to this Just Pete guy. So, as far as you should need an ID to vote, it's in the Constitution that we can fucking vote, and it says nothing about ID. We don't need ID. Okay. This is something Republicans have been doing in their states because they want to suppress a certain vote, the minority vote. They want to make it harder for women, Black people, and Latino people to vote. That's it. That's all there is to it. There is no need for it. There's no need for it. So when you say we should need an ID to vote, my question to you would be why? And you would say because illegals vote, and that's not the case. That's like if I say that I want a national gun registry, and you say, whoa, that's against our Second Amendment rights. Well, so is needing an ID to vote. Okay, if I say I think you need throughout the entire country, every state, no matter where you live, you need 6 weeks of training. You need to have at least $40,000 in the bank, and and I gave a bunch of requirements for what I think you should need in order to buy a gun. You wouldn't like that, right? But you say we should need an ID to vote, and what is it? What is it helping? Yeah, you have to show an ID to buy a gun. Yeah, because there's yeah. But it's not, there's not, anytime anybody tries to put any kind of requirement on it, then it becomes a fucking problem, right? Other than that, you gotta show an ID to vote to prove who you are. But in an election, you already proved who you are. You registered to vote. So when you go to a polling place, okay, it's like if you went to a gun store and they already had your information and all you had to do is say, here I am, and they match your signature and you get it. When you go to vote, like the woman said in PA, you have to show your ID. You do not. Are there certain parts of PA? I guess it would be possible, but I don't imagine so. When I go to the place, they already have my information. I'm already registered to vote. You're not pre-registered to buy a gun. You understand? You got to show your ID and get the background check there at the spot and all that shit. When I vote, I go to the church a couple blocks from my house. I tell them my name. They open up a big book. If they find my name, that means I'm registered to vote. I sign it. They compare signatures. Boom, I get a ballot. That's it. You have to be registered. There's no such thing as walking in and just buying or just asking for a ballot and getting one. There's no such thing. Yeah, so only citizens can register to vote. Yes. Yes. So in PA, if you change districts, you do have to show ID to vote now. I don't know. I don't know that that's true, Samantha, but where I live, it's not true. I just voted in the presidential election. I did not have to show ID. I never did. No problems are being solved. No, the whole SAFE Act and everything, SAVE Act, whatever they're doing now, it's complete bullshit. It just so happens that there's a higher percentage of Black people and Latino people who do not have a valid driver's license or state issued ID versus white people. And as far as women, some of you broads, you're so stupid, you don't even realize how this is going to hurt you, because it's like, you know, if you didn't change your fucking name yet, you just got married or something, guess what? Can't vote. If, you know, I think there's something in there. They want you to be able to provide a passport or a birth certificate or something. But if you haven't already, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it, but if you haven't already changed your birth certificate, that's going to be a fucking problem. It's going to make it harder for women to vote and Black people and Latino people. That's it. That's all there is to it. And that's why they want it. That's why the Republicans want it. Because the less minorities and women vote, the more chance they have of winning. You can call in what? What does that mean, late night? You can call in what? I've been in PA for years, and I've never showed my ID. Anyone who says is lying. Yeah, you don't. You're darn right he hates us. First term, he taxed us into foreclosures and evictions. Unemployment was worse. Small businesses closed. Yes. That's what I meant. I showed ID when I registered, not every time. Oh, all right. You shouldn't be pre-registered to vote. What do you mean? You think you should have to register every election? Why? This is what I'm saying, guys. What you don't want anything to go on with guns, for example. Nothing. You don't want your right in any way, shape, or form infringed. You want to just be able to walk into a store and buy any gun you want, no fucking problem. Right? But for voting, there has to be all these extra safeguards, even though we've never had any legit problems with elections. Look, I do this with Grok because you guys, anything else you'll say is left leaning. Meanwhile, Grok is literally Elon Musk's thing. Rather than me going on forever, I'll just let her explain it to you. Her, like she's a person. Hey, Grok.
Hey, what's up?
Is it legal for undocumented immigrants to vote in federal elections, and how often does it occur?
No, it's not legal. Full stop. Federal law says you have to be a U.S. citizen to vote in any presidential or congressional election. Undocumented immigrants, they're barred, period. Anyone caught doing it faces fines, jail time, even deportation. Does it happen anyway? Sure. A tiny handful do. Maybe a few dozen cases nationwide per election cycle, tops. But that's peanuts compared to the millions who vote legally. Studies, like from the Heritage Foundation or even the Brennan Center, show non-citizen voting is basically a rounding error. Not zero, but nowhere near enough to swing anything. Why do people freak out about it? Mostly politics. Fear sells. But the actual numbers? Laughable. Want me to dig into a specific state's data?
Sure.
Cool. Which state you want to hear about?
Michigan.
All right, let's pick Texas. It's the one folks yell about most. In 2025, they flagged over 2,700 potential non-citizens on voter rolls using some federal database. Sounds scary, right? But dig in. Counties checked, and at least 6 were actually citizens. Oops. 2 real non-citizens popped up. And guess what? Neither ever voted. Registrations canceled, no ballots counted. Back in 2024, they referred 33 cases to the AG for possible illegal votes. Tiny slice. 11 million ballots cast. This is nothing. Most get debunked as errors, like outdated records or mix-ups. No evidence any swung a race. Arizona's similar. Maricopa claimed 137 flagged, 60 who voted sometime. But experts say the tool's glitchy. False positives galore, especially with name matches or naturalized folks not updated. Downward revisions happen every time. Bottom line, states hunt, find zilch that matters. It's theater. Pick another, like Georgia or Florida, if you want.
Well, just tell me, is the SAVE Act necessary?
Nah, it's mostly hype. No, the SAVE Act isn't necessary. It's overkill for a problem that's basically non-existent. Look, federal law already bans non-citizens from voting in elections. Penalties are harsh. Fines, prison, deportation. And the data? Still zilch. In 2024, states like Texas and Arizona hunted hard. Found maybe 15 actual cases nationwide out of millions of votes. Most were mistakes, like old records or mix-ups. Prosecutions? Almost zero. A 2025 review called it exceedingly rare, no swing in any race. The act, passed the House again in February 2026, stalled in Senate, would force everyone to show birth certificates or passports just to register. Sounds tough on fraud? Sure, but it hits citizens hardest. Studies say up to 21 million Americans don't have those docs handy. Think low-income folks, elderly, naturalized people with name changes. It'd mess up mail voting, online regs, even force states to split elections. No funding for it either. Proponents scream integrity, but critics, Brennan Center, League of Women Voters, call it voter suppression dressed as security. Existing tools like USCIS checks already flag issues without burdening voters. If non-citizen voting was real, we'd see prosecutions pile up. We don't. It's theater, not fix. What do you think? Worth the hassle?
No, thank you very much, Grok.
No problem. Anytime.
Now, look, after all that, there has to be somebody who's, no, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. It's not true. It's not true. So look at this guy. He said, where is it? Oh my God. You can tailor your AI towards your political preference. This proves not shit. No, you can't. This is Elon Musk's fucking AI. The bitch has given me answers I didn't want plenty of times. Okay. And Danny, you don't have to believe Grok. You realize you have access to the same fucking information the rest of us do. Actually look into it. See how many cases. The Heritage Foundation, the most right-wing think tank in the fucking world, okay? It's literally the creators of Project 2025. Nobody backed Trump more than them. Since the 1980s, they found 32 legit cases of an undocumented immigrant voting and actually getting the vote through. 32 since the 1980s. It doesn't happen, guys. You think this country hasn't mastered elections yet? You got to stop believing Trump when he loses an election and he can't handle it. He's a fucking baby. So he tries to convince all of you it's because illegals voted and all that. It's not a thing that's happening. It's bullshit. It's nothing to worry about. The SAVE Act is simply to suppress the vote. The less people in general that vote, the more chances Republicans have of winning, but especially when it comes to the less minorities and women vote. And women, I guess, technically are a minority, but yeah, that's what it's all about. That's it. They want to cut down on black people, Latinos, and women being able to vote. They want straight white men to vote. That's it. So it's ridiculous to need voter ID. And if you actually gave a fuck about your rights, you'd be against it. But that's why they do what they do to you. So you guys would be against it if they hadn't told you, well, it's because of Mexicans. Then you're like, oh shit, yeah, fuck that. Take all my rights away. You know what I mean? You guys bitched and moaned about having to wear a mask just to go into stores and shit. Could you fucking imagine? Now, if they would have told you, if for every person that wears a mask, another Mexican gets deported, you guys would have had 3 masks each on. Because that's what it is. You're all about losing your rights until it's for something that could hurt someone else. They could hurt someone else. You're like, fuck it, take my rights. Especially one of the people you hate, trans people, Mexican people. It's a party built on hatred. Shut up, Juan. Thanks for the $1, bitch. Guys, anybody want to donate? Throw a super chat into the mix. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Do something. They freed the slaves. Who freed the slaves? The liberals? Yeah, the liberals freed the slaves. You are correct. I'm not making it about race, Brendan. It's the statistics. It's the reason for it. If the reason for it is race, then how am I not going to say that? Against voter ID, why would I be? You should have to have ID to vote, so illegals can't, you bellend. Yeah, we just established, I don't know how long you've been listening, Dopey, but illegals, it's like non-existent. It doesn't happen. And when it does happen, they're caught, and they're not caught. They're not counted towards the vote total. That's it. I would have 20 masks on at once. See what I mean? So why wouldn't they want blacks? Because black people generally vote for Democrats. What do you mean? You guys are so weird. You don't even understand what racism is. This is not my opinion, fucktards. It's a fact. It's a fact. That's why Republicans want voter ID, because it's like 21% of the black community doesn't have a driver's license, and 8% doesn't have any state-issued photo ID, whereas with white people it's 3%. Okay, and Latinos it's like 16%. So this is why they want to raise their chances of winning. So they try to lock out anybody who can vote against them. That's what they're doing. We've been doing what for years, dummy? Everywhere else they ask for it. No, they don't. There's 17 states that don't ask for ID when you vote. If you think voter ID is to suppress the vote, then why did Democrats want 10 million people to come into the country while not properly getting vetted just to come in and enjoy? Come on, dude. If you think voter ID is to suppress the vote, then why did Democrats? Guys, bro, See what I mean? It's not even worth proving shit to you people. We just went over this. Illegals can't vote. It's already illegal. And even if they try it, the vote's never going to get through. You guys are out of your fucking minds. You believe this right-wing horse shit that illegals are voting. It's not possible. It happens at such a fucking a tiny rate. It's like I just said, the Heritage Foundation found like 32 cases since the 80s. That's why there's no need for voter ID law. You have to be registered to vote. You have to be an American citizen. When you go to a polling place, if you're not registered, you don't vote. I don't care what else you have. It don't matter. You have to be registered. Holy shit. People need social security numbers and everything else. Oh, I don't want anything from you guys. I asked the good people to donate shit, not you guys. I don't want anything from pedophile supporters. The Klan is liberal. No, the Klan was never liberal. The Democrats were the Klan, but they were conservatives back then. They were conservatives. Trump is a 34-time convicted felon, convicted rapist, child molester, and thief to over 100,000 pages of classified material. This is true. But then they'll tell you how illegals committed misdemeanors, so they should all be killed. Abraham Lincoln was a liberal. Wasn't he a Republican? Yes. Melanie, that's the whole thing. Today, the Democrats are the liberals and the Republicans are the conservatives. Back then, the Republicans were the liberals and the Democrats were the conservatives. That's what changed. You know what I mean? That's the truth. Yeah, they can't. Well, you're watching me, stupid ass. Do you think before you write a comment like that? Good, go. Who gives a fuck? Do whatever you want. Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. Abraham Lincoln was a liberal, yes. They know it's based on lies. They don't care about a fair election. They only care what about their candidate winning any way necessary. Yeah, I know. They just want, they want the Republicans to win. They don't give a fuck what happens, whose rights are taken away. They don't care. No, they never will. How am I a racist? Tell me how, stupid. Abraham Lincoln wasn't a liberal. He was a Republican. Do your research. You sound stupid. The Republicans were liberals back then. The Democrats were the conservatives. It's amazing that you don't know that. No, it wasn't. You literally need an idea for everything, but keep parroting the liberal talking point. No, you don't, Kimberly. It's an ID. And what do you need it for? What do you need an ID for? To drive? To buy cigarettes or liquor? To go to a nightclub or a bar or a strip club? What else? What do you need? It's like when Trump says, I got to show ID to buy a loaf of bread. Meanwhile, you never even bought a loaf of bread. No, you don't. You don't. I don't know if it's that percentage, but it's a majority. Lincoln would be Democrat today. Yes, he would. No, it's not racist. You can't be racist when you're stating a fact. I don't think that. Guys, this is how racist I am. Watch. I swear to God. Remember those percentages I gave you? Watch this. What percentage of the black community doesn't have a valid driver's license or a photo ID?
About 21% of Black adults in the U.S. lack a valid driver's license, which is almost double the national average. Studies also show that 30% of Black Americans between 18 and 29 don't have a license, and 28% lack one with their current address or name.
What percentage of the black community doesn't have a valid driver's license or a state-issued photo ID?
About 21% of Black adults in the U.S. lack a driver's license, which is much higher than the 8 to 12% rate for white adults. When considering both driver's licenses and state-issued IDs, 18% of Black adults lack a license, and over 25% lack an ID.
Yeah. So there's that. Fucking dummies. It's racist. You're so stupid. It's called disenfranchisement. Yes, it is. That's a racist comment. No, it's not. You're so stupid. You don't know what racism is. That's probably why you think it doesn't exist. You're just racist. Black and brown people can't get a driver's license. They can't get ID. Why would you say such a thing? Of course they can. Stephanie, $2. Been a while. Good to catch you live. Yes, it has. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. You are one racist motherfucker. You literally need an ID to buy a motel room, alcohol, cigarettes. Illegals can vote. Shit for brains if IDs aren't checked. No, they can't. And it's not racist, you dumb motherfuckers. Running around shouting the N-word like you fuckers like to do, that's racist. Telling you a fact is not racist, you stupid assholes. The same people that'll come in here and throw 13% around are saying this is racist, you stupid motherfuckers. Holy shit. Is it a fact that more of the black and Latino...
Who has the most children?
Is it a fact that a higher percentage of the black and Latino communities in this country lack a driver's license or photo ID versus the white population?
Yes, data shows that Black and Latino citizens are more likely to lack a driver's license or photo ID than white citizens. Studies estimate that around 6% of Black and Hispanic adults lack photo ID compared to about 2.3% of white adults.
Stupid fucks. They literally don't know what racism is. Unbelievable. Is that racist? No. Racist would be like if I said they're too stupid to get one. That would be racist, you dumb fuck. The fact that they don't have one, that's a fact. That a certain percentage doesn't. Oh my God. Jesus. Yeah, data. I know it's a joke, right? I mean, we should definitely go by something else, not data. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button and subscribe. I can't believe you're this stupid. I can't believe, I mean, I deal with these every day, but holy shit. Now that's racist. And they have a lot of driving offenses which suspended their license. Stupid racist. That's racist. Juan, what the fuck is it with you? Why don't you send a dub or something? What's up with the dollars? No, I appreciate it. Oh shit, it's racist. The stupid fucks. All right, let me read all your comments because you did pay for them to get read. 13% of blacks are incarcerated, so that leaves 7%. A present for my Democrat, a degenerate. Thank you for that. People of color are okay with voter ID. Yes, many of them are. Absolutely. It's a different argument. They are. But that doesn't change the fact that that's why Republicans want voter ID. They know illegals can't vote. They just don't want minority groups to be able to vote. We know Democrats don't care for Americans. They care more than Republicans do. Ask what percentage of the Mexico population is in the USA. I think that would be a retarded question to ask. What do you expect it to say? Oh, my God. You just said facts ain't racist. Yeah, but what you were given wasn't a fact. It was your opinion. That's why you're saying they're not able to because of Lot then. What? Todd Ramirez. Are you a Trump supporter, Todd Ramirez? If you are Todd Ramirez, I know everything I need to know about you. You're not bright. Says stats, you can get all kinds of answers through Google. Why would anyone want to subscribe when you call people all? Yeah, you could check anything you want, a dark world. Anything you want. Any fucking possible source of information, you're going to find out the same thing. I mean, doesn't common sense tell you this? Is there not a higher rate of poverty in the minority communities, you dumb motherfuckers? Wouldn't that tell you that less people have either the money to get an ID or the transportation to a place to get an ID or a driver's license, a car to use to take a driving test? I mean, what is wrong with you fucking stupid people? Holy shit. Juan Colon, $1 for asylum seekers get SSI numbers, may vote. No, they don't. They don't. You can't get a social security number unless you are a legal U.S. citizen, period. A green card holder doesn't get a social security number. Nobody gets a social security number unless you're a fully legal citizen. Again, what's your point? I don't think you understand. There are rights that are guaranteed to you where you don't need an ID. And then there's everything else where people could just decide you need an ID. Do you get it? You understand? My God, it's enough to make my fucking head want to explode. Guys, do me a favor. Democrats, leftists, hit the like button, subscribe, and donate to this channel because this is what I got to tolerate every fucking day. Holy shit. Dems passed a bill that allowed people to vote without proper ID. Now it's a problem. Repubs asked for a voter ID. Common sense has a pretty place in politics. People should use it. I don't think that's true. What's the bill called? What bill was that? And you don't have to pass a bill to let people vote without proper ID. You never needed it. When do you think? Let me ask you guys something. Watch this. When did states start requiring ID to vote? Oh, it's not going to give me a simple answer. When did U.S. states start requiring ID? When did U.S. states start requiring ID to vote? Well, it won't give me an answer. Voter ID laws in the United States are laws that require a person to provide some form of official identification before they are permitted to register to vote, receive a ballot for an election, or to actually vote in elections in the United States. At the federal level, the Help America Vote Act of 2002 requires a voter ID for all new voters in federal elections who registered by mail and who did not provide a driver's license number, the last 4 digits of a social security number that was matched against government records. Those state laws requiring some sort of identification at voting polls go back to 1950. No state required a voter to produce a government issued ID as a condition for voting before the 2006 elections. Indiana became the first state to enact a strict photo ID law, which was struck down by 2 lower courts before being upheld in Crawford versus Marion County Election Board by the U.S. Supreme Court. As of 2021, 36 states have enacted some form of voter ID requirement. Okay, so 14 states don't have voter ID laws. God almighty, guys. Oh, God, it's hard to deal with. 410 people, guys. Please hit the like and subscribe. Let me see. Don't you get tired going against the tide of opinion? No, because I know I'm right and I know they're stupid. You know what I mean? It's if I was wrong, then yeah, it would bother the shit out of me, but I'm not wrong. Everything I tell you guys, I prove it to you. You just deny that even the proof is real. So, you know what I mean? I'm never that what you're describing is somebody who's a follower. You know what I mean? Like somebody gets like I just want to agree with everybody just so I can get along and go along. And then no, not me, not me. There was no need to. U.S. never had 20 million illegals in the country. Holy shit. Well, we still don't. We still don't have 20 million illegals in the country. And regardless, even if we did, they still can't vote. They wouldn't get away with it. No, they don't. They don't. That wouldn't work. That would not work. Yes or no? Does the vast majority of Americans want voter ID? He won't answer. Yeah. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the fact that the Republicans are, the argument is that the Republicans are using it to suppress the minority vote. And that's a fact. Doesn't matter if they want it or not. Doesn't matter. And since when do you guys care? I bet the majority of the country was fine wearing masks during COVID, but you guys weren't. So you bitched and moaned like a bunch of fucking babies the whole time. Remember? Bottom line, Elon cannot rig elections if it is not all computerized. Well, I'm with you there. And all 14 states are blue or tell us it's blue, or they tell us it's blue. It probably is. Yeah. Because again, it's the red states that want to suppress the vote. It's not the blue states. You get it? So blue states are aware. Everybody's aware that you don't, guys. I'm going to do this one more time and then I give up. Hey, Grok.
Yeah? What do you want?
Can illegals vote in federal elections in the U.S., and how often does it occur?
No. Illegal immigrants, meaning non-citizens without legal status, cannot vote in U.S. federal elections. Period. It's a federal crime under 18 U.S.C. Section 611. If you're not a citizen, you don't get a ballot. States check citizenship through IDs, social security numbers, or affidavits when you register. How often does it happen? Almost never. Studies, like the Heritage Foundation's database, or even the Brennan Center, find maybe a handful of cases every election cycle. Out of millions of votes, we're talking single-digit prosecutions nationwide. Most get caught before they vote, or they're too scared to try. The whole millions of illegals voting thing, that's just noise. No evidence backs it up. Zero from audits, zero from courts. If it were real, we'd have indictments everywhere. We don't. So yeah, it's illegal, it's rare, and it's overhyped. Want proof? Look at the 2020 audits. Every swing state checked found squat.
Okay, so what is the SAVE Act really all about?
All right, let's cut through the noise on the SAVE Act. The SAVE Act, full name, Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, is basically Republicans' latest push to fix non-citizen voting, even though we already covered how that's super rare. At its core, it forces anyone registering to vote in federal elections to show hard proof you're a U.S. citizen, like a passport, birth certificate, real ID that says you're American, or naturalization papers. No proof? States can't process your application. Mail-in or online, you'd have to show up in person with docs by a deadline. They even want states to dig through federal databases, DHS, Social Security, to scrub non-citizens off rolls, with penalties if officials screw up. There's a fallback. If you don't have those papers, some states could let you swear under oath and submit other evidence. But good luck, it's clunky. As of right now, February 26, 2026, it passed the House back in April 2025 on the original H.R. 22, then got a beefed-up version tacked onto S1383, and rammed through again February 11th, 218 to 213. Senate's sitting on it, no vote yet, and with filibuster math, it's probably dead unless they nuke rules or something wild happens. Critics scream it's voter suppression. Millions of legit folks, especially young, poor, minorities, lack easy access to birth certs or passports. Supporters say it's common sense security. But hey, if non-citizen fraud's the boogeyman, why not just enforce existing laws harder? This feels like overkill. What do you think? Security
I'm
or
good.
barrier?
Thank you, Grog. Jesus Christ. And this, I'll say it one more time and only one more time. You guys don't understand what racism is. You're so fucking dumb. It's unbelievable. I knew you were dumb, but this dumb, it's astonishing. Another person said Democrats think, hilarious Dems think black and browns are too stupid. He spelled it's STOOPID to get an ID or license. Nobody said they're too stupid. The fact is that less of them have a license. You understand that? The fact is. So it's not racist. It's a fact. You know what I mean? You know how you guys like to say that the 13, you always throw around the 13% commit 50% of the violent crimes. Now, if I called you racist for saying that, what would you say? What would you say? You'll run around with that all day long. But then when you hear that it is a fact that a smaller percentage of the minority communities have a valid driver's license or photo issued ID, you say that's racist. Like what, Antonio Gonzalez? Tell me what you need an ID to get. Because you said anything in this country. Like I'm about to place a big grocery order from Walmart. Do I need an ID for that? What do you need an ID for? Because you said everything. So he checks your spelling but tells you a dude is a she. No, as a matter of fact, I've said the exact opposite. You see how you guys just jump to conclusions because you're programmed like fucking robots? To believe certain things about the left that you don't even know to be true. God almighty. I swear to God. It's astonishing that you're this stupid. All right. Let me see. The only racism is from the left. Yeah, you're right. Totally. I remember when like those Tiki Torch kids, the Jews will not replace us kids. I remember, it's funny. Let me ask you guys something. What side fights to keep up statues of Confederate soldiers and slave owners? And what side fights to take them down? I'm curious. What side was for programs like DEI and what side is against it? I'm curious. Which president who cashes a check anymore, Juan? Which president removed 2 holidays off of the federal parks fee-free days off that list? Which president removed Martin Luther King Jr. Day and Juneteenth? Which president? You don't want to forget history, right? As far as what? What do you mean? DEI is bad? How so? Democrats were the KKK. Yeah, Democrats were conservatives. Yes, they're liberals now. Germany and Italy were crazy proud of themselves before they fell. You keep history bad or good so you learn from it. No, that's not true. Because if you guys had a problem with removing history, you'd be up in arms about the fact that Donald Trump tore down the East Wing of the White House, but you have no problem with it. Yeah, you see? You have no problem with it at all. You're so full of shit. You want symbols of racism and slavery up. That's it. Was? No. It still is. What side abolished slavery? The Republicans that were liberals back then. The liberals are the Democrats now. You guys still don't understand the big switch. You need an ID to shovel snow in New York City? Well, in that case, 13% are arrested for 50% of the violent crimes. All right. Yet how many of them are acquitted? Most are released because the charges are bullshit. Yeah, I know. But my point is, that's something they like to throw around. But then when you say that it's literally a fact, and that's not what they say isn't a fact. What's actually a fact is that smaller percentages of those communities don't have ID. They say that's racist. They're unbelievable. How is he racist against Mexicans? In what way? Was Trump racist when he was a Democrat supporting Clinton's? When Oprah said she would endorse him if he won, only when he flipped to Republican is when mainstream media labeled him as racist. No, he was always racist. And yeah, even when he was supporting the Clintons, yeah, of course. Why would he not be racist just because he was supporting them? Yeah, he was always racist. His racism is documented going back 54 fucking years. The guy was sued by the Nixon Justice Department for refusing to rent apartments to black people. He made his building managers put a C for colored on the corner of the application if any black people applied for an apartment. Are you serious? Yes, it's called that there was a big switch. Those Democrats were conservatives. And chums, if you don't understand this, I'll ask you again. If today's Democrats are the party of slavery, and the Republicans are the liberals as you're describing them, because you are describing the Republicans as liberals right now. Which party still fights to keep the Confederate flag? Like Nikki Haley, for example. Which party is she from? Oh, yeah, she's a Republican. Nikki Haley fought to keep the Confederate flag in front of her state capitol building. Which party flies the Confederate flag? Here's another question. When you go to like the Deep South, you see a lot of white people with big redneck trucks flying the Confederate flag, or you see a lot of black people in the blue cities flying that shit? Just out of curiosity. Just out of curiosity. And Donald Trump also, guys, the Central Park 5 thing, you forget all this. The media has had him labeled as a racist since the 1980s. The mainstream media. You just didn't know about him before then. So who else? I want to know, like which side, guys? Tell me, if there was no big switch, which side fights to take down Confederate soldiers? Like I asked a minute ago, which side fights to keep them up? Statues of Confederate soldiers and slave owners. Which side? Oh yeah, tell me what. F drizzle, faux shizzle. Tell me what he's done for the average American. Love the Confederate flag. See, and he ain't no Democrat. No, that's not. Deporting Mexicans is a rapist. Sorry, I was thinking of Trump. That's not racist. Nobody says deporting illegals is racist. Nobody. I was a Trump supporter myself, but I can't turn a blind eye to so much BS and putting the American people last behind a foreign state and protecting pedophiles. Done it for me. I feel you. He helped Jennifer Hudson. Yeah, celebrity. Absolutely. He did help Jennifer Hudson. That was good PR for him. He lent money to plenty of black folks. Who? And you guys do know, right, that like every racist person has black friends, right? Like I've never met a racist who hasn't said to me, I have black friends, right? Like everybody does. It doesn't mean you're not racist. Guys, you'll name all these other things and completely ignore that going back to 1972, he was informing his building managers that they should write colored on the application just so he doesn't accidentally rent an apartment to one of them. And the Central Park Five, he took a full page ad out to get the death penalty for 5 innocent Black and Latino kids. And his quote at that time was, even if they didn't do this, they did something. Or what was it exactly? If they didn't do this, they did something. In other words, regardless, they deserve to die. Oh, yeah? Who's he gotten out of prison? Because, guys, this is the thing you guys do. You guys are so fucking insanely racist that if Trump does anything to help people in prison, you attribute it to helping black people only. Okay. The First Step Act, listen, this channel used to be about mafia history. Okay. I'm kind of an expert in that field. Do you know how many mafia serial killers have been let out of prison because of the First Step Act? So it wasn't put there to help black people. That's not what it was for. And as far as helping black colleges, Withers, he helped, he gave $250 million a year. He made that permanent for black colleges. Joe Biden gave $17 billion to historically black colleges and universities, and Obama gave $4 billion. So what do you mean he helped? What do you mean? A minuscule amount compared to the other presidents? Okay. DEI is only racist if you're a racist. Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? A lot of Democrats flying the Confederate flags. Yeah, the Democrats, oh my God, we're liberals and all right, guys, or conservatives. And I'm going to do this. I don't like playing this video too much anymore because the regulars have seen it a million times, but I got to get going before my fucking head explodes. I'm going to let Steve here explain the party switch to you. Okay.
It's pretty simple to explain. Basically, when Nixon was discovered having committed Watergate, people thought the Republican Party was washed up. But a clever staffer on in Nixon's White House came up with an idea for how to get more new Republican voters to replace all the people that were turned off by the corruption that had just been exposed, and perhaps save the party. His name was Lee Atwater. And he said, I know where there's all kinds of disgruntled white people. All you got to do is appeal to them over their anger about the end of Jim Crow and about school desegregation and about the Civil Rights Act. And these are the words that you'll say to kind of trigger them. Then we call these the racist dog whistles. And you will send a message to them that they are welcome in the Republican Party. And starting in the mid-70s to the mid-80s, there was a massive change in voter registration from Democrat to Republican on the part of all of these racists and lowlifes and ignorant people. At the same time, Trump started to have political ambitions. Now, it turns out Trump has an IQ of about 73. He barely functions as an adult. If it were not for the fact that his father gave him a lot of money, he wouldn't be able to function as an adult. Trump has less money now than he would have had if he'd just taken the money he got from his father and put it in an index fund in the stock market and just let it sit. But he's gradually played around with it all these years and lost it in all his lawsuits and so forth, and his 6 bankruptcies. And he has dissipated a fortune over his lifetime. Now, he's had the Russians for the last 20 years to bail him out, but ordinary people cannot be as dumb as Trump and still function. But Trump came out onto the public stage and started talking boldly like he wanted to do things politically and help the people of America. And he speaks like a third grader, because that's what somebody with an IQ of 73 talks like, even if they're an adult. Linguists have analyzed his speech, and they've made it plain. He speaks English at a third grade level. This energized dumb people, because for the first time they could understand a presidential candidate. And they said things like, oh, he speaks his mind. He's the first guy that doesn't use a bunch of fancy words and confuse me. Now I finally understand what he's saying. And of course, what he was saying was a lot of things they wanted to hear. They were the racist dog whistles. And so you had a beautiful alliance, from their perspective, of racists and stupid people. The lower 12% of the IQ distribution corresponds perfectly to Trump's supporters. Now, these people are so intelligent that there's actually a federal statute that prohibits their induction into military service. They didn't want to have a repeat, Congress didn't want to have a repeat of the McNamara's Morons incident from Vietnam, which is a notorious thing you can look up on your own. McNamara's Morons, it's called. Basically, we had a Secretary of Defense who had the idea that, hey, why don't we recruit low intelligence people, send them to war and see what happens. And what happened was they died in droves, and of course things got worse. And so they didn't want that happening again, so they actually passed a law. You're not allowed to recruit and induct into military service the lowest 12% on the IQ range. But they're still allowed to vote, and Trump energized them. He made dumb people think that they finally understood politics. He made people stood around proud of themselves, thinking that they had a grasp of the issues, because they could tell on some level that Trump wasn't much smarter than they were, but there he was, a big shot. So he seemed like a champion for them. Of course, all these people forget that they aren't rich. They didn't have a dad hand them the equivalent of $412 million. And they can't do the things that Trump does, and they can't get away with the things Trump has gotten away with. And even Trump himself is not going to get away with them indefinitely. But the stage has been set, and this is where we're at. Basically, we have a fanatical core of low intelligence voters that are solidly behind Trump. They will back him no matter what he does or says, because they don't care what he does or says. They just know he's their guy. They understand him. They like him. He talks to them in a way that they can comprehend, and they are fanatical in their support of him. He has given them what they see as dignity and strength. And then at the other end of the spectrum are smart people from all walks of life. I actually used to be a Republican myself. I'm ashamed to admit it now, but I know I'm not alone. I mean, millions of people who make sure that they turn out to vote against Trump used to be actual Republicans, because the Republican Party is now nothing but a loony bin of the very low intelligent. And there's just no way that you can be associated with them at all. So now it's going to be, some range of conservative to liberal Democrats again, except that it'll mean something different than it used to mean. I mean, those Democrats won't be conservative because they're racist garbage people from the South. They'll be conservative because they have some other philosophy about the role of the market or of private enterprise or something like that in the economy. At any rate, this is the problem we have. It's basically now just the very low intelligent versus the high intelligence. And the thing is going to be decided by undecided people who don't pay any attention. People in the middle that don't pay attention to politics, no matter whether the politicians are smart or dumb. They just show up on election day and try to do their best. Those are the people you have to reach. You have to get them interested.
Facts don't care about your feelings.